So as you can see here then, we've got some different protein concentrations set up, and we've done the Buret's test, so we've got this nice purple colour. And you can see this one here is water. Now the Buret's test, the reagent gives a blue colour, so that's why this is blue. This is important because the data that we generate is going to be compared to this background level here. And it takes into the account that these have all had the Buret's test done. So really, we're comparing the colour of these to this background blue here. Here we have our 0.2% protein solution, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8 and 1. Now, already as we're sat here, we are already generating data by eye. We're comparing the intensity, and we can see that the intensity is increasing as we go through the lower concentrations up to the higher concentrations. However, that is subjective. In other words, it's our opinion. So we're going to generate the data as we've talked about using the colorimeter. So I have a colorimeter here. It's already set up on the correct wavelength that we need. First thing we're going to do is do the reading of water, and then we can generate data compared to that one. So take some out, transfer it into a cuvette. And I can pop my cuvette into the colorimeter. Okay, and I'll ask it to calibrate that. I want it to think that this is 0. Okay, the calibrating is an important step. As we've said, it means that all the others can be compared to this one. So it's good to get the machine thinking that this is 0. This can sometimes take a while, but we can begin to see here the light that we've discussed earlier on. Okay, fantastic. It now thinks that this one is 0. So now we can start reading the other values. You'll see the colorimeter can sometimes move around a little bit. But when it does, you should usually spend some time just looking at the most common number or the average sort of number. Here it's jumping around a bit. I might ask it just to calibrate that again. Okay, much better. Right, so now we're going to start comparing the other samples. So we'll transfer some of the 0.2, giving it a good mix, into the next cuvette. Okay, so now we can take this one out and transfer this one in. Okay, now we can see here we're getting a higher reading, and that agrees with the data that we've generated by eye. This is definitely a more intense colour. Okay, so we can see it's just moving around on a few numbers there, so we'd spend a bit of time seeing whether it settles or what number it's kind of leaning towards, and then we'd record that down as data. Okay, so around 0.95. So next we'd then just repeat that with the next protein concentration. Get rid of the waste. Giving it a good mix. And transfer that into the cuvette. Put that into the colorimeter. Okay, so we can see here that we're getting a higher data reading, and again that makes sense, but this time it is quantitative. We have numbers generated rather than opinions. Okay, we would then simply repeat that process with each of the different concentrations that we've prepared in advance, the known concentrations. Recording the data down each time And then we would have values of data that have been generated for known concentrations.